And we are ready to go. The Miller Lite Cape Cod Open. They are packed here at Craigville Beach. As fans getting set for Hovland and Dodd, Smith and Stoklos. Chris Marlowe with Paul Sunderland. This is just semifinal action as we get ready to go. Both teams with one loss. Jimmy Leonard, our first referee, and Rick Olmstead will be our umpire or second referee. Two of the great teams of all time, the two winningest teams of all time. And Mike Dodd will serve it up. He's wearing the white tank top and the black hat flipped up.
And certainly two of the most recognized teams of the modern era, since of course television's coverage of the Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. This crowd, very knowledgeable. Important for one of these teams to capture their support early.
Here we go. Dodd with the jump serve. Stoklos. And he puts it away. Randy Stoklos, the million man said, how about me?
Stokey knows how important this crowd is. And right now, pretty neutral. Who's going to capture their favor early?
You look at St. John Smith, 132 career wins, most of all time. Also the oldest player on the professional tour, but showing very few signs of slowing down as Hovland says to the Hovland fans.
This is like Perot, Clinton, and Bush all duking it out for the public's favor. I'll tell you, Hovland is now really rounding back into form from that foot injury of about 6 or 7 weeks ago. 6'4", 200 pounds. Ageless at 33 and really starting to hit the ball well again.
Last one with Kent Steppes. And right down the line. So St. John Smith tapping right over the top of the block.
The outstretched arms of
Christopher St. John, St. John Smith. And so Randy Stoklos will serve. Look at the big fella, 220, 113, but only 3 in the last 21. I know we're harping on it, but it's kind of an interesting fact.
Well, it is the story. They've been the winningest team of all time. So successful, 110 in a row, as we talked about at the top of the program, and they have been in a slump.
So Mike Dodd has the ball. No score here at Craigville Beach. Last year we're in West Dennis, and we had been previously, but a hurricane washed away most of the beach. The only thing left standing was the lighthouse. The beach too thin, therefore, to play, so they look for another side. Nice block by Hovland. And Dodd, chance for the first point. Hovland, yeah!
That's going to be the key to this match. Both these teams will block extremely well and play good defense behind that block. Who can convert off the point scoring opportunities? First to strike blood, Hovland and Dodd. And Tim Hovland going quick, very experienced. You don't want to set the ball in front of Randy Stoklos when you don't have to.
Just the start of our semifinal. Karch and Kent have won the winner's bracket. A thrilling match with Smith and Stoklos. Stoklos detonates one into the crowd and then stares at Hovland.
You mentioned the finals of the winner's bracket, Smith Stoklos versus Kirai Steffes. That was one of the best games of the entire summer. Randy Stoklos and Smith both played extremely well. It went right down to the wire. Randy Stoklos jump served very well. Couple 3-4 aces.
Smith and Stoklos had their chances in that one. They were leading 12 to 11. Let it get away as Mike Dodd scissors one cross court. So Mike Dodd gets the kill. This is a 10-minute game, and we've played about 39 seconds into it. As Hovland now will put the ball in play, and there is a huge crowd here as the Cape Cod area, really knowledgeable. They watch their beach volleyball on Nessun, N-E-S-N up here. We welcome all the fans as Hovland digs right over the top. Come on, Stokey, go!
That's a great play, back-to-back by Randy Stoklos. Excellent dig by Tim Hovland. Almost went over the head of Randy Stoklos, and the knuckler right on the dime to St. John Smith, who bump sets the ball high, and Stoklos just bombing again cross-court.
So Randy Stoklos, who has earned $1,056,825 in his career. Dug by Smith. Watch it coming. Stokey, yes, coming.
Returning the favor. Hovland against Stoklos on too early for their first score on the board, and Randy Stoklos after the perfect dig from Randy Stoklos.
Hovland taking his shirt off.
It's the Laird look.
As we mentioned, he's sponsored by a new sponsor as the Hov puts it away.
Randy could have set this ball. That was the key. Could have jump set the ball. He's one of the few players out on the Pro Beach Tour who has that ability to jump set.
You look at Hov with the What's that called, Paul? That's a tank top he's got on there.
No one.
And he waffles it out of bounds, and watch for the tank top to be ripped. The other shirt Hive tried last week. It's a Newport Blue Special that would not rip. So Hive had to take it off. All time, let's take a look. We mentioned St. John Smith 132 and Stoklos at 113, 112 with Smith. Ron Von Hagen behind him. And then you can see down at the bottom, Ken Stoklos moving up very, very quickly. Thumps one cross course.
And on that list as well, notably Hovland with 59 career victories, Dodd with 57, and combined, I added it up, the 4 players on the beach right now have 361 victories together. Mike Dodd, going to turn 35 later on this summer, but he is in super shape, playing extremely well, has worked very hard.
Last win, San Antonio. Who will ever forget that? The day that Dodd and Ludy's took back the Alamo. Ludy's first win, little dink. Dodd can't get there. So a little tip shot going downside out. And Smith and Stoklos, what are they saying? They're
not sure. Not sure.
On the ref or on the crowd, maybe. Let's see. Smith and Stoklos at the net questioning.
Oh, look, everybody in the crowd is pointing out the guilty party. And he pleads guilty. Don't yell out in the middle of the toss on the jump serve. I think they do the same thing at Fenway Park.
The crowd is rowdy. One of the nice things about Pro Beach Volleyball, thanks to Miller Lite, everybody is in free. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland, early action, 8 minutes, 52 seconds to go in our semifinal game. 2-1 Smith Stoklos. The winner of this one plays Karchgarai Kent Steffes. Going to Dodd, a lot so far. And he snaps to 2.
Spike by Mike Dodd, bangs off the arms.
Not really sure why they're going to Dodd consistently early in this match. Maybe trying to get to Tim Hovland later on, but Dodd been healthy all year, something he had not had the good fortune to face the last couple of years, and really playing good volleyball now. They're not going to wear him out.
Smith chopping inside. So Randy Stoklos will serve. The big fella, his team leading 2-1, playing without the shirt today. Looks like new trunks for you, Stokey. Nice ones. Hovland, blocked by Stoklos.
Stuff block number 1. St. John Smith with the dig to lead to point number 1. Stoklos jump serving for point number 2 and blocking for point number 3, I should say. Hov trying to turn the ball off Randy Stoklos down the line, but Stokey just too far over the net.
3-1 is our score, and Dodd thumps one through.
Spike by Mike Dodd.
So Mike Dodd putting a little thunder on that heat.
Mike is hitting the ball as hard as he did 5 or 6 years ago. Really jumping well, getting to the ball quickly.
And it's good to see Mike Dodd playing without those knee braces. You look at 34 among the oldest. In fact, these are 3 or 4 of the oldest geezers on the tour. Smith 35, Stokey 31, Hovland 33, and Dodd 34. And I mean that affectionately, so don't write me and get on me. But they're 4 of the oldest, but 4 of the best also.
Well, and also you're talking about a number of players. St. John Smith, notably, who's never missed a tournament during all those years. I don't think Randy Stoklos has either, in spite of the shoulder problems he had earlier on.
Smith with the serve, wearing all black today. 3-1 his team leads. Hovland, Smith, he got it. Stoklos, Smith. Not yet, Hobby with the knuckler. Invented by the Japanese, perfected by Hobby. Smith. That's a good set. Dodd, he can't get it. Smith Stoklos.
Excellent set by St. John Smith, and Randy Stoklos still working the crowd, saying, "We want you, baby."
Smith and Stoklos working the crowd and working Hovland and Dodd at the moment. We are back at the Miller Lite Cape Cod Open. Chris Marlowe and Paul Sunderland. 13th event on the tour this year, and they are packed in here at Craigville Beach to watch Hovland and Dodd play Smith Stoklos. And this crowd, as they look at the players trying for $75,000, a total $15,000. The winning team 9,754. Placing goes all the way down to 17th. This may not be the biggest crowd this year, Paul. It's right near there, but it's certainly the loudest.
Well, if the beach were wider, and it's wider than we played last year in West Dennis, there would be more people. They could move back the bleachers. Those bleachers are right on the edge of the water here on the beautiful extension of Cape Cod, but a super enthusiastic and well-informed crowd.
And so far, they're seeing some pretty good volleyball. 4-1. Smith and Stoklos are working.
No touch on the block. Spike by Mike Dodd is wide. Point to Smith and Stoklos.
Who are the oldest players in beach volleyball? Well, St. John Smith, you see right there. John Stevenson, Dodd, Pat Powers, Andrew Smith, and Hovland. But you notice most of those players are the top ones in the game. Ron Von Hagen, of course, the oldest player to ever win a tournament. 1977, he won the Rosecrans Open at the age of 38. Von Hagen still third on the all-time list.
And if you've seen Ron lately, he could still probably get out there and play. I think he's in great shape.
So Tim Hovland and Mike Dodd trying to get their game back together. They trail here 5-1 after playing very well against Mike Whitmarsh and Brent Frohoff.
Well, siding out is the key for them. They've made a couple of unforced errors. Mike Dodd hit the ball out of bounds just then. They've got to get it back into a side-out rhythm, gain possession. And then Hovland and Dodd have got to play the game of old. Hovland's got to block the ball extremely well. Mike Dodd's got to dig in transition.
Chase, great Les going there just a year late on the it's it and that's that. But hey, give him a little more time. The Miller reps will love it anyway. Okay, here we go. St. John Smith to serve.
Continues to serve.
Wearing that right knee brace, Paul. What do you think?
Well, he's had problems. It's not so much of the knee. It's the muscle area where it comes into the tendon above the knee.
Is it affecting him?
He thinks so. He's not sure exactly how much, but it has been wearing on him the last several days.
Stoklos on the right. How can he play? They block it, but it's out of bounds, so Stoklos gets the kill.
Just to finish the point on the knee, since it's in the muscle and soft tissue, he's been undergoing deep tissue massage, but this week it wasn't getting him anywhere, so he went and had an MRI magnetic resonance exam, and the results of which we'll have for you next week.
He did get an MRI this week.
Yeah, it's something, he says, look, Paul, it hurts me every time I jump. You know, am I jumping lower? I really can't tell. I'm into the match, but it's slowing me down.
Let's check him out right here. 6-1. Dodd digs in. Big save here coming for Dodd. Gets it.
Straight down spike by Mike Dodd for a point-saving side out.
Big play there, Paul.
Hovland and Dodd.
I'll tell you, if Smith and Stoklos go out to 7-1 and scoring easily as it seems right now, there you got to look at the neoprene brace supporting and keeping warm Smith's right knee. Again, it's in the musculature and tendon tissue above the right knee, but St. John says it's really distracting. It hurts every time I jump. And of course, Randy Stoklos had the shoulder problem earlier in the summer, but he's bombing away lately.
Tim Hovland to serve. Trailing 6-1, and they're serving St. John a little. Set is back. And Hovland off the net. They got it over. Stoklos, jump set, and Smith. Yes. Finesse shot there, huh?
I told you Randy Stoklos was the only player out on the beach who dares to jump set, and you saw exactly the reason why. Really, nobody expected Mike Dodd not only to get to this ball, but keep it in play. And right now, look at Mike Dodd goes with Stoklos, and then even though the set is a little bit too close to the net, the defense of Hovland and Dodd completely frozen.
Randy Stoklos, who won his first tournament with Jim Mingus. Tight set him. Oh, little jam. Stokey has it. Looking for the bomb. And he gets it.
3 contacts available after the joust.
Stoklos, point to Stoklos and Smith.
Excellent play. Randy Stoklos really looks good right now. After the joust, Smith bump setting and Randy 50-50. Lazy decision by either Hovland or Dodd not to get back to the net and block. That's virtually lights out on that set.
7-1, a 6-point lead for Stoklos. And he whacks that one out of bounds. So Hovland and Dodd need to get going. Played together for years and years and years. Now back together again here in 1992.
I think Hobb needs the crowd, and he's going to get that by blocking a ball. So far in this match, Tim Hovland, no blocks. As a matter of fact, no stuff blocks. I think Randy Stoklos has one on Tim Hovland earlier in the match. That's the only block in the match.
So Dodd serving. Slight delay while Hovland's talking to Jim Leonard.
St. John, one more time, I'll have it done, all right? They have somebody over there.
And someone's yelling out of the crowd on serving or jump serving. And over there complaining, Hovland and Smith.
Let's go.
And Jim Leonard said, I've got someone over there who's going to try to shut him up.
You know, so much is riding on this match. You know, Kirai and Stefas are on a big winning streak. One of these teams wants to derail them. And Hovland and Dodd got back into the mix last week, finishing second in Chicago. And on cue, stuffing the ball to get the crowd back in the match. To continue that point, Smith and Stoklos sort of been out of the mix with a couple of disappointing finishes, and they are bound and determined this week to win this tournament. Great block there by Tim Hovland.
Stoklos, and they can't get there. So Hovland and Dodd backed up at 7-1, scored 2 quick points, and we'll take a break. 7-3, but Hovland and Dodd coming back a little. Stay with us. We are back at Craigville Beach, the Miller Lite Cape Cod Open. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Smith and Stoklos with a big lead now, 9-3 in our semifinal. Smith-Stoklos win. They go on to play Karch Kirai and Kent Stefas. They've won the winner's bracket, remain undefeated. And look, on 2. So Hovland might be tiring. You don't see that very often. Hovland bumping.
Smart play coming out of the timeout. That's just experience. Hov probably being honest with himself and with his partner. Look, I'm a little tired right now. I'm in a bad rhythm. If St. John serves me short, I'm just going to bump you the ball on 2. You go ahead and put it away, and we'll get back into some sort of rhythm.
Massive crowd here in Cape Cod. Loud crowd. Waiting for Hovland and Dodd to fulfill their end of the bargain. They got one here. Chance to go to 4. Hov. Yes.
Got to convert when you have the opportunity to do so. Smith and Stoklos very good at that early, and when Hovland with a chance gets his team on the board, it's very important, Chris, that they get to the 9-6 side change. They're at 9-4 down here.
And, of course, very important for Smith and Stoklos. If they hope to win this tournament, they have to terminate Hovland and Dodd quickly now. Be fresh against Karch and Kent. And on 2, Stoklos. Probably only 2 or 3 players on the Pro Beach Tour that can do that shot. Tim Walmer would be one.
Tim Walmer would be one. I've seen Brent Frohoff try it, but I'll tell you, Stokey can pull it out and make it look easy.
Randy Stoklos considered one of the great setters of all time. Oh, and he aces Hovland. The thing was coming down, and Hov couldn't decide whether it was in or out. Chalk up 1 for Stoklos. 10-4.
Stoklos. They lead now 10-4.
Randy Stoklos has been serving the ball extremely well throughout the course of this tournament. He's taking on a huge physical load because he gets served most of the time. Because of the shoulder injury, a lot of players and teams have confidence now against Randy, rightly or wrongly, and it's a big load for him physically, but he's been serving well.
And playing well this weekend. Perhaps one of the reasons Smith is getting some serves. Stoklos, April 12th in Phoenix. 8 tournaments ago for Smith and Stoklos. The drought has been long. And Stoklos buries another one. I don't know where Hovland is reaching on those tight sets.
Well, that ball is set almost right on top of the net. That's a ball you've got to reach over and try to push right back onto Randy Stoklos, but Hov just missed reading direction from Randy.
The AVP souvenir trailer.
So St. John Smith, he's towing the rubber. Let's see if he goes short serve to Hovland again. He's looking at Hovland. Is he going short again? No.
Great serve. Right middle.
Dodd. Nicely done. Mike Dodd snapping one down the line.
Yeah, that was a pretty good example of serving very, very tough without much pace. That was all location. St. John stood there at the line. We're thinking short. We're thinking short to Hov, maybe short to Mike Dodd, and he goes deep middle, almost created a big problem. Nice side out for Hovland and Dodd.
If you're wondering about Tim Hovland money-wise, $751,490 he has earned in his illustrious career. Out of Westchester, California, went to USC, onto the national team for a while, and on to the beach. Stokey pounds another one through. Hovland and Dodd, if you're wondering, alternating the blocking, which seems to pay off.
Well, it used to be only Tim Hovland blocking, but I think as their careers have moved on, you know, Mike Dodd's a good blocker, and I think that they have decided that it's just better for them physically to change up the blocking assignments.
Go to Hovland, no block. Oh, and he can't convert. So trying to hit the spinning bump set, he could not. And now Smith and Stoklos in charge.
Smith and Stoklos, and on our side change, Stoklos lead.
Smith and Stoklos started on Mike Dodd early, and he was effective siding out, tough jump serving, everything else to Tim Hovland. Maybe some weary legs.
Chris Marlowe back with Paul Sunderland. The Miller Lite Cape Cod Open. Craigville Beach, it's called. As we continue with semifinal action, a look at part of Cape Cod. Hyannis is right to the west of us. And the water very nice here as the wind continues to come off the water.
Play resumes now after our
Last year,
change.
before Cape Cod, you see 11 out of 15. After Cape Cod, they went into the slump. It started in Belmar Beach. He started 9-1, only one. So Smith and Stoklos, a lot of reasons on why they're not playing well, but the bottom line is they're not playing well. Although they are playing well in this semifinal, playing very, very solid volleyball.
You know, we have such high expectations of them because of their past success. I mean, we got to remember back to San Diego. Great final against Curie and Steffes. St. John Smith putting on a show defensively. Stoklos had 34 kills, won the Killer Luke Kill Award, and they played very well. We just expect them, and whether it's today or tomorrow or this week, we expect them to win an awful lot. And they expect themselves to win an awful lot. I think they're starting to feel the pressure, and other teams are gaining confidence against them that didn't have it in the past.
Stoklos has 17 kills to lead this match so far. 5 minutes, 37 seconds. 11-4. Hovland and Dodd really need a miracle here. They need to start coming. And they have trouble putting pressure on because of the serving. So Hovland will put the ball in play. And trying to get something on it. Do you jump serve your Hovland now?
You do everything you can to try to get some momentum started. You know how quiet the crowd is from the beginning of the match for Hovland and Dodd. The crowd thinks they're out of it.
And they may be out of it.
Yes, as a matter of fact, of course. But they've got to jump serve. They've got to block a couple of balls. But, of course, more importantly, the basics are they must side out consistently for a long time. There's still just under 5 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Lots of time if they can put 4 or 5 points in a row together.
The crowd was jacked to open it up. Now they've gone into a coma because Smith and Stoklos are crushing Hovland and Dodd. You really can't blame the crowd. Not much to cheer about. They are big Hovland and Dodd fans.
You know, if they were at the Red Sox versus the Yankees, and the Yankees or the Red Sox were leading 9-1, they'd be pretty quiet. And that's exactly as it is just now. Waste the energy, preserve the knee. He said, it kills me every time I jump, and Randy Stoklos having no problem jumping here and getting over the net. But why should Smith jump needlessly when he thinks he has this lead? Randy Stoklos now with 2 stuff blocks, but certainly a number of influences.
Mike Dodd and Tim Hovland.
Timeout taken by Hovland and Dodd, and they are in deep trouble. The Twin Towers are leaning to the left, trailing 12-4.
Timeout.
Welcome back. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, Smith and Stoklos ahead by 8 over Hovland and Dodd. 12-4 is our score. Hovland and Dodd struggling right now. Hovland, Smith with a nice dig. Smith, Hovland with a nice dig.
Trying to find some momentum.
Smith on 2.
Spike by St. John Smith off the block.
Hovland Dodd just cannot find any spark. And obviously give credit to St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos. They have played good defense in spite of the hustle and determination of Hovland and Dodd. Smith Stoklos really controlling the ball well. Smith with some options, and he goes on too.
Good all the way. Hovland. And finally, Hovland snaps one through there. So Tim Hovland will have the ball. One of his good buds getting married pretty soon, huh, Paul?
Getting married, and Bigfoot Tim Hovland is going to Big Fork, Montana for the marriage of Jim Johnson and Stacy Dunkel, and they asked us to send their regards, and they'll be watching at the Big Fork Beer Garden. So the Hov and Jim Arico, among others, are going up to Montana for a wedding. So look out, Montana.
Just a mention of Montana has a Hovland dig. Oh, he can't convert. Good try there. As Hovland made a nice dig, but just rolled it out of bounds. And the wind now coming much harder, and things are cooling down here on Cape Cod.
Well, and that's good for Randy Stoklos and St. John Smith. They are great in the wind, And I asked Randy, well, he was watching one of the preliminary matches, how it was on center court. He said the crowd is so packed in here. The wind really not a big factor down on the court itself.
Of course, the grandstand play a big part in that. When you have a lot of people, the grandstands go up.
And thinking of the wind aloft, you might see Stoklos, or I should say St. John Smith, throw in a couple of sky balls to get the ball up into that wind and then knuckle down into the void down below. Huge crowd.
You look at the stands blocking part of the wind. Let's see what Mike Dodd does now. Hovland and Dodd trailing 13-4. They're guaranteed a third, so another good finish for Hovland and Dodd, second last week. And Smith and Stoklos in good shape to go on and play Ryan Steffes now. It's been cool. It's been nice. They barely lost the first time. And if they win here, it could be a very, very good final match.
Well, Smith and Stoklos advanced all the way to the winner's bracket final. So this is the only extra match they have had to play. I don't expect them to be tired.
Should be fresh as a daisy, or two daisies. Still working on Hovland. And he just gets it by Stoklos. Stoklos with a couple of stuff blocks today. Couldn't quite get that one. 4 minutes, 34 seconds to go. Stoklos and Smith, 13-4. Last year, it was a win. Hanley and Whitmarsh, how those teams have changed since last year, Paul.
Hanley with Brooke Pendleway, Whitmarsh with Frohoff almost all season long.
Beautiful turn by Stoklos. So another kill, so Randy getting a lot. Let's check him, Paul.
Stoklos now with 19 kills in terms of serves received. He's only received 15 serves, so he's really getting some good work in transition. St. John Smith doing a nice job setting Randy Stoklos in transition. More kills than serve received. They're really doing a good job of converting.
So Stoklos 2 points away from victory.
No one.
And Dodd still looks fresh, so I think if you're Stoklos, you have to keep it on Hovland. They've been getting most of their points on Hovland, but just good plays. They've been making good volleyball players.
Well, they started on Mike Dodd early and got to the 4-1 side change, stayed with that. Then they went to Tim Hovland and changed sides later on at 7-3, and then went out to the 11-4 side change and have really been dominating.
Smith.
And look at that.
Gently down the line for St. John Smith.
Perfect pass, perfect set, and St. John with several choices of areas to attack Hovland and Dodd defensively.
Hovland, mouth open, sucking air, and they're serving him again. And right to Smith, gobbling, and Stokey, misdirection play.
Well, I think the ball had to come. I think there was a slight touch by Randy Stoklos, so the second contact by Smith, but what a great job of waiting. No, he didn't touch that. He didn't touch that ball. We're gonna back set. Nah, there's nobody over in that zip code.
So Stoklos 2 for 2 on chickening that ball over. And now it's game point.
Look at that. That's just a dominating performance. They played well. Hovland and Dodd coming back through the losers, just didn't have enough left.
So it sets up our final. Smith, Stoklos, Karai, Steffes. Don't go away. Halftime activities coming up. Was a precision performance for Smith and Stoklos. They beat Hovland and Dodd. What about it? Can Smith and Stoklos do well?